We're going to be looking at how to change a leaky faucet on the outside of your house. I have several pictures here that I took as I did this job. I have not done a leaky faucet pipe like this before, so it was a real learning curve, and so I thought, well, if I can pass this information along to you, you'll see that you're more than able to do this job. The thing that you will need to find out is get all the right parts, because that's the one thing I ran into that gave me trouble. The second thing I ran into was the builder never gave enough hose, extra pipe to go outside of the wall so I could crimp it, which caused me a lot of headache and trouble, but I was able to figure it out, and those steps were unnecessary because of his lack of professionalism, I guess, or I don't know. It's annoying, but if they would have given me 2 more inches of pipe, I could have saved all the cutting in the walls that I'm going to show you that I did to get at this. But at the end of the day, it is a simple, easy job, and I was amazed just how easy they've made installing one of these today. So if you have a leaky faucet and you can't get any more repair for it, which was the case for me, I was forced to buy a new faucet, but of course they've changed the sizes, so that's what we're going to look at here. You'll need to remove some of your trim on your house. We have vinyl siding, so it's held on with little nails, so you take out a couple of these nails on each side so that when you bend the vinyl back, you'll be able to get at your work. Camera trouble here. So here we are. Now, if there would have been enough pipe to pull out here that I could work outside of the wall, things would have been okay. But they cut the pipe off flush, so I was forced to come up with a way to get at it, and you know, the pipe that I pulled was enough to get that tap out, but where the tap attached, it was flush with the wall, so I had no other way that I could think of at the time but to cut out a small piece, and the 2x6 was right here, and so when I put it back together, I just put a screw in there, and everything's really tight and secure, and then I put this black paper back on, and things were good. There's the pipe that I took out. So I showed you the other picture first after I had this out, which you can, which you know by now, but that's what it was. That was the faucet that was in there, and it went into that little gray pipe there. The gray pipe is held on by what's called a plex clamp, and you have a big special set of pliers that just crimp around that circle, and they're called plex pliers, and you just squeeze it and it automatically sizes it. Once the pliers collapse, you're putting pressure and all of a sudden they go click and they just collapse together, and that automatically sizes it the perfect size. So that's how you attach the faucets now, is with a plex. There is one more way that I'm going to show you that's an option, which I like more, but I had to use plex clamps anyway farther down. I used my Dremel to carefully cut the clamp because to get at it there wasn't any other option. Be sure that you put the piece of siding that you cut out on your new pipe so that when you go to install it, you don't have a problem that you have to start cutting pieces out to slide that in. Put it on before, make sure it's the same direction that you took it out, and then work after you get it slid on the pipe. Use pipe tape on the end. That's that white tape there. You can use the liquid or you can use the tape, because on the end of your faucet tap the tube there, you're going to need to put something to go onto the pipe, the plastic tubing. This here is one option, so we'll call this the second one. The first one was just sliding that tip into the pipe. So my pipe came without anything on the end, so the option is you buy this adapter, and it's got a nut here that screws on that steel pipe, and the steel pipe was here, it had the plexi tape on it, and then you screw this on, and this just slides onto your plastic pipe like that, and it grips it, and you're finished. So all you do is attach this to the faucet tube, tighten it up, then just push this on the pipe, and it's repaired. That's the end of your repair. It's over. You fixed it. So there it is here. That's your faucet and the tube. That's your Teflon tape. You just screw that nut on tight and push that onto there, and it's fixed. Pretty simple, hey? And that's how it would go on. The second option, which I had to use, and you may not have to go this step, so it's like starting the video again, maybe we could say. Excuse me, because my house was 20 years old, I have gray pipe. The only thing they sell nowadays is white pipe, because they said that my gray pipe, half-inch tubing, is outdated. They don't use it anymore, so they use white. But I couldn't attach that white connector to my gray pipe. I found that out after. So after my second trip into town, I came back with this copper, and I think they call these a shark bite. So it's the same principle. Now you screw this copper thing onto the end of your faucet with your tape. Then this here is the same. You just push the white pipe into here, into the shark bite, and those teeth just grab that pipe, and it's sealed, it won't leak, and it's over. So by this time I'm not able to do this because I have gray pipe, so I have to make a way to hook this white pipe onto my old-fashioned, out-of-date gray pipe. My house was built 20 years ago. So what they did is, because this adapter is made and the other one was made for the white pipe, I couldn't get a gray adapter, so I bought this here adapter to go to the white pipe, the shark bite, to bite the white. Now I need to hook the white onto the gray. I hope it's not too confusing, but you should have seen my head trying to figure all this out, having never done it before. So here we have a short piece of white pipe that I bought. On the end, to hook the white onto the gray, you need this two-sided adapter. On this end is the very slightly larger fitting that goes into the gray pipe plumbing in my house. This piece is only to connect the new style white pipe to the gray. On this side here that I've already connected is a brass end that looks the same, but it's just a tiny bit smaller. So the only difference between this pipe physically is the new white one is a little bit smaller, half-inch, than the gray half-inch. So this here connector takes care of it. So now I had to come up with a way, because of what I was faced with the piping in my house, to connect this part. That's just a close-up of it. The ribs are slightly different, but that's the part. And you use the copper plex sleeve on the gray pipe. You can see it there. The old one, or sorry me, the new one for the new smaller white pipe is black. The plex clamp for the old gray one is copper. To be able to access that, I was forced with needing to get inside the wall. So I put a chisel in from the outside so I could find the spot on the wall. It was in a closet right under the first shelf. So I cut about a 6 by 8 inch hole. That allowed me to connect the pipe to the gray one, then take my big plex pliers, those clamps to clamp that little ring, snap it in place, and then I just continued to push it into the wall and it ended up about back here someplace. I imagine some of you might have to watch this video twice because I know it's complicated. I'm trying to explain it as clearly as I can, but maybe you got it. It's just that if you have the old gray plumbing pipe, the new adapters are a different size, so you need to buy that brass connector, connect the two different size pipes in your way. Put your siding back on, put your nails in, and screw the tap into the wall. And I was really pleased with how much better this tap works, how much better it feels. It's just so amazing that old tap, it seemed like it didn't have half the pressure to push the water out this one did, so there was really something faulty with it. And it was dripping and it was annoying. If I had to do this job again, knowing what I know now, I could probably do this job in half an hour. During the filming of this, I worked on this probably 6 hours. So when you don't know what you're doing, you sure can have a hard time. Yeah, I could have hired a plumber, and somebody'd say hire a plumber, don't do it yourself. But at the same time, if I ever have to change another one, I don't have to call a plumber. Plus I know how to do plumbing for any pipe in the house. So if you have any place in your house that you need to install a tap or a connection, your choice now is either the shark bite that I showed you, or the plex clamps with that little brass connector. So I'm really glad that I got all the information that I did when I did this job, because it's things that I wanted to know, so that now I know how to join the two different sizes of pipe, and it's not that complicated. When I first started asking questions, I was so confused, and they just didn't want to release the information. The places that were selling this to me, these parts, initially, I went to different stores after. I went to Home Depot in the end and got my parts, Home Depot. But the other places that were selling it, you know, the wholesalers, they just wanted me to hire a plumber and just stay out of it and just keep the secrets in the trade. But they've made plumbing so easy now. You don't have to be, you know, soldering things together. It's just buy the shark bite connector, hook it to your pipe, press it on, and it's over. Thanks for watching, and if you like it, please click for the points. Thank you. This is McCanada. Bye.